What's up, Scott?
Hey, Kalijah, how are you? Congrats on the win. I know that's been a long time coming. What do you think this win does for you guys, and not just getting off that losing streak, but how convincingly you won this game on both sides of the ball, offense and defense both playing well?
It just shows how good of a team we are, and when we play fundamental football, what we can do to guys out there in the field.
Todd Bowles, in his post-game address to you guys, talked about the killer instinct, and wanting to finish games a little bit better than maybe you did on both sides of the ball in the second half after jumping out to the big lead. Can you just kind of talk about what coaches said in terms of developing that killer instinct down the rest of the way here?
It's really just finishing, like getting ahead on guys and not letting our foot off the gas pedal. Just kind of putting the fork in their necks. And as far as defense, really just going out there and getting three and outs and turnovers and takeaways and just having fun and flying around. And offense, just running the ball and just keep putting up points. We want to keep them out there on offense, but we want to get off the field on defense.
Thanks, Kalijah.
Welcome.
Channeling.
Hey, Kalijah, thanks so much for doing this. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Um, I noticed yesterday you guys were getting great push up the middle, and on three out of four of your sacks, actually all four of the sacks came on DB blitzes, coming off the edge. But just how does that, when those guys are coming off the edge like that, how does that kind of just from a technical standpoint allow you guys to be able to do your job up the middle more effectively?
It's really a team thing, a team effort thing as far as defense. We kind of forcing the blitz towards each other. It's just all about everybody getting to their assignment and executing. I make a force it to the DB. The DB make a force it to me or Yaya or Avita or Joe or anybody else who's out there. It's really just like us just executing together as a team.
And speaking of DBs, you guys had both of your starting cornerbacks back for the first time since Jamel Dean went down in week 6. You also had a guy in Mike Edwards back there in some dime packages before he took over for Jordan when he got hurt. Could you feel a difference yesterday with those guys on the back end?
Yes, we could feel a difference. It was more communication. Guys was out there flying around and talking and where they needed to be.
Thanks so much.
You're welcome.
Greg Almond.
Hey, Kalijah, I know with the injury, you kind of had a late start to things, but now you've got 4 sacks in the last 3 games. I just want to ask you when physically you felt like you were back to yourself, where you felt like normal out in the playing field.
Really, when I got back versus New Orleans, I've did so much as far as rehab and getting back in game shape and wanting to just. I was very desperate to play football and ready to just get back out there. So I feel like I have done everything to get back to who I was, and just I wouldn't even say it was knocking off the rust, but it was more so of just getting back to what I was doing and playing at that elite level.
For you personally, I know you guys have a path in front of you where you know what you have to do, but you also want to take it kind of one game, 1 week at a time. Is there a key for you to kind of keep that focus on right here and now and just Carolina on Sunday?
Yeah, that's what we want to do. We want to take care of what's in front of us at the moment. We don't want to look too far ahead. We just really gotta win these games at the time, one at a time. It's hard to win games in this league, so we want to take it one game at a time.
Thanks, Kalijah.
Welcome.
Scott Reynolds.
Kalijah, you and Vita are on quite the sack run here down the stretch, each getting sacks in these last couple of games. Who's going to wind up as the sack leader in Tampa Bay this year? Is it going to be you, or are you going to let Vita have that?
We definitely been talking about it. We on the sideline because it was one play where we thought I ended up stealing one with rushing Tommy out of the pocket and him getting out of bounds. We thought I had actually stole another sack. So Vita kind of say like, "Dang, they trying to take the lead on me." So we just both just we always talk about it and just compete and help make each other better. But we definitely both want to get double digits this year.
When you look at the Panthers, last year, they didn't have a good record, and yet both of those games are very close, 21-18 here and then a 9-0 win in Carolina. the Panthers don't have a lot of wins this year, but they've won two in a row, and then they took the Chiefs down to the wire yesterday, 27-27 before kicking a field goal to win it. What is it about the Panthers that you know you're going to have a fight on your hands, regardless of what their record is on Sunday when you guys travel to play Dave Canales and Carolina?
That's like for any team in the NFL. Honestly, every game is going to be hard. So I don't think any game is like a pushover or anything like that. But with us playing Carolina last year with it being a close game, it's definitely going to be a close game this year as well. But we're going to try to do our best to not make it a close game. But it's hard in this league, like I said before. And at the end of the day, the guys are all pros, so it's not like it's college where you could be playing a Division 3 school and you're a Division 1 school. So it's like it's the NFL. I mean, anything can happen.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Jenna Lane, if any media have questions, please raise your hand.
Hey, Kalijah. I know it was really frustrating for you when you dealt with another calf injury. I'm curious, have you been able to learn anything about like why this was happening, and have you developed any new routines, any new warm-up habits, stretching exercises that have that you think are going to help you down the road?
Oh yes, I definitely have a routine where I like to make sure I'm always stretching the calf out, making sure getting the work in when the muscle is at its length, because the calf muscle is something that happens when your muscles is at its longest part of its is at its length. So basically, when you're stretching the calf, when your heel is down, so I do a lot of things with that, and I load it up a lot. As far as learning about it, that's what I learned. It's really just making sure that I keep the muscle loosened up, and I get it warmed up before practice. I do the strengthening after practice. And every day is just stretching and making sure it's never just sitting around and getting tight.
And in college, it's like in high school too, kind of your strength routine is mapped out kind of with your position groups. But what is it like going to the pro level where it seems like everything is really individualistic when it comes to that type of stuff? Like and so much of it is having to learn your own body. I know with Antoine Winfield Jr., for example, the feet and the ankles, like he has a very elaborate, pre-practice routine that he does barefoot to try and prevent those types of injuries. Just like, what's that process like for you, having to kind of learn your own body and learn how to help yourself at this level?
But yeah, in high school and college, everyone is pretty much on the same like plan as far as workout and um, workouts and weight gain and all that. But like in the NFL, it's kind of different because everyone has a separate plan where you need to work on this or that. And I have my separate workout plan where it's things that I need to work on, and I do. And for the calf, as far as like it's little things, as far as like I do foot motions and stuff like that, toe exercises and stuff like that to make sure I'm using every muscle in my foot, and not just using the calf to actually go, because us as football players, our feet was athletes period, our feet supposed to be as far as spread out as our hands, but with us having our feet in cleats, it's kind of hard for our toes to spread out and use all those muscles. So that's something that I work on a lot, so that I can use all those muscles and not just depend on the calf or my athleticism.
Last question from Scott Reynolds.
Elijah, you and Vita win different ways when it comes to getting in the quarterbacks. You use speed and your two-hand swipe to get past guards. Vita sometimes will literally just truck a center like he did yesterday. When you see that power that he plays with, and you watch the film of him literally just taking a grown man and knocking him backwards and getting a sack, what is that like? And then also, can you speak about him seeing some time as a blocking fullback on offense as well, using that power?
Seeing Vita do that without even being mad, literally cracking jokes in the huddle, or just like his mind is somewhere else, just joking around, actually seeing him do that to a grown man is crazy without even being mad or pissed off or anything. So imagine him pissed off. And as far as seeing him at fullback, I was ready for him to get the ball. But if you see him at fullback, you definitely want to run behind him.